Hello, my name is Divakar and I'm here to explain about superposition principle. So, what does superposition principle mean? It states that the total current flowing through any part of a linear circuit is the individual algebraic sum of the currents produced by each source separately. So, to find out the currents that are to be added, we need to replace the voltage sources by short circuits and the current sources by open circuits. To calculate the indicated current I1 through the resistive element R1, we can see the two independent voltage sources V1 and V2 getting replaced by a short circuit here and here. So, when we consider V1 to be active, we have considered the current flowing through the resistive element R1 to be I2. And similarly, when V2 is active, we consider the current through resistive element R1 to be I3. So, calculating I2 and I3 with the help of KCL and KVL will give us their values, and the total current I1 which flows through the resistive element R1 equals to the algebraic sum of I2 plus I3 as stated. So, as we can see in the given example here, there are two independent sources. One of them is current source and the other is voltage source. Now, we got to calculate the current I flowing through the resistive element R whose value is 1. So, this is done by considering the following two cases. In the first case, we have considered the voltage source to be shorted and the current source to be active. In that case, the current flowing through the resistor R is I1. And in the second case, we have considered voltage source to be active, so the current source here is replaced by open circuit which need not be represented. So now the current in this particular case will be I2. So first we'll calculate I1. So as we can see in this circuit, these two resistors that are pointed are in parallel, and similarly these two. So the equivalent circuit for this will be, as you can see here, these two resistances have been drawn in parallel, which will represent the equivalent circuit. And at the bottom, these two one resist and at the bottom these two resistances are also in parallel. Sudo app install Linux headers. So the equivalent resistance of these two parallel resistors and these two parallel resistors will be like this. The value of two 1 ohm resistors connected in parallel will be 0.5. Since they are equal and they are connected in parallel, they will be exactly the half. And this resistor 1 will remain the same, whereas at the bottom we get a change. Some portion of the current will flow through this 0.5 ohm resistor, and the remaining will flow through the series combination of the 0.5 ohm resistor and the 1 ohm resistor. So the equivalent circuit of this will be this will be 1.5 since the resistors 0.5 and 1 are in series, so that they can be added algebraically. Therefore, the current I flowing through the resistance 1.5 ohms is equal to I equals to 0.5 into 1 by 0.5 plus 1.5, which will be equal to 0.25 amps. This calculation is done using current division rule. As we can see in the figure, these two can be considered terminal A and these 2 points can be considered terminal B because they are at the same voltage. Now, this circuit can be redrawn as this is the 1 volt voltage source in between, and these are the two resistors connected to the positive terminal of the voltage source, whereas these two, the ones at the bottom, are the resistors which are connected to the negative terminal, the positive terminal. This point would be and this would be B, and we have the equivalent circuit as this with 1 ohm resistor, which is the target element where we have to find the current flowing I. Now we are assigning the values respectively 1 ohm, 1 ohm, 1 and also 1. As we can see, this here we got a Wheatstone bridge which is balanced. So according to the theory, in a balanced Wheatstone bridge, the current between these 2 points would be 0 since it is balanced and there is no potential difference. So the current I2 flowing through the resistive element R is 0. Therefore, the current flowing through the resistive element 1 R, whose value is 1, which is I, will be equal to I1 plus I2, whereas I1 is already calculated here. So by adding them, we get this current to be 0.25 amperes. So this is how we use superposition principle to solve circuits. Thank you.